Hello everyone, here are the latest market news on April the 18th, 2019. FCC plans to block China Mobile in the US. US officials are moving to block a Chinese state-owned telecom company from operating in the United States, citing the firm as a spine risk in widening a rift between the two countries over the security of Chinese technology products. If approved, the plan by Federal Communications Commission would deny permission to China Mobile, whose U.S. subsidiary is incorporated in Delaware, to offer international phone service to American customers. China Mobile didn't respond to a request for comment. The FCC is expected to vote on the proposal at its next monthly meeting, May the 9th. China Mobile doesn't currently offer phone service in the United States, and an FCC decision rejecting its application would merely affirm that status quo. But like many FCC orders, China Mobile could challenge the decision by asking a federal appeals court to review it. For President Trump, criticizing China has become routine as he has pushed for a renegotiated trade deal. In the past, he has accused China of currency manipulation and of unfair trade practices. Blocking China Mobile from the U.S. market could add to pressure on the Chinese government to capitulate. But analysts say it could also be interpreted as an escalation. Oil prices slip, but supply cuts limit the fall. Oil markets fell on Thursday despite a surprise decline in U.S. inventories, but the price drops were tempered by a smaller-than-expected reduction in gasoline stocks and ongoing OPEC-led supply cuts. Brent crude futures were down 19 cents at $71.43 a barrel. WTI crude futures lost 14 cents, reaching $63.62 per barrel. Both contracts had traded slightly higher earlier in the day. U.S. crude inventories fell by 1.4 million barrels in the week on April the 12th, compared with analyst expectations for an increase of 1.7 million barrels, Department of Energy data showed on Wednesday. Gasoline stocks fell by 1.2 million barrels. Prices have been supported this year by an agreement reached by the OPEC and its allies, including Russia, to limit their oil output by 1.2 million barrels per day. Global supply has also been tightened further by U.S. sanctions on OPEC members Venezuela and Iran. Surging U.S. production has filled some of the gap in supplies, although not all of the lost production can be immediately replaced by U.S. shale oil due to refinery configurations. Mueller report will be released on Thursday. Almost 2 years after Robert Mueller was appointed special counsel to investigate potential ties between Donald Trump's presidential campaign and Russia, the American people will finally read this report on Thursday, albeit in redacted form. William Barr, the Attorney General, will hold a news conference at 9:30 a.m. ET, after which the redacted report will be delivered to Congress. The public release of the 400-page Mueller report marks a significant moment for a country on tenterhooks over what the former FBI director has uncovered. It marks the first time that U.S. citizens and members of Congress will be able to hear from the special counsel directly rather than through the lens of his Department of Justice bosses or the media. The Mueller report could still provide political ammunition against Trump as the president seeks re-election in next year's presidential contest. The document is expected to fall into two clear sections. The first will look at Russia's interference in the 2016 presidential race and the question of any involvement in the defeat by the Trump campaign. The second part will deal with obstruction of justice allegations. Trump aroused suspicions that he tried to impede the work of the FBI after it emerged that he had put pressure on the then head of the agency, James Comey, to end an investigation into the Russia links of the former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn.